private train pulled to a stop at the end of the track, a vacant prairie 20 miles south of Austin. The last of the cars was a luxury Pullman used to transport executives of the International and Great Northern Railroad. Seated inside was railroad entrepreneur Jay Gould, who was in the process of buying control of the railroad, and Ira Hobart Evans, the board secretary and general manager of the railroad's Texas Land Company. The I&GN Railroad had been formed in 1873 and was busy laying track towards San Antonio and Laredo. Gould realized that this new line had missed the opportunity for additional revenue between Austin and San Marcos and proposed building a new town for cotton and cattle shipments. He would put Ira Evans in charge of this plan.
That's all open ranch, right?
Wide open spaces.
I need a town right here.
Gould did buy the I&GN, merged it with his other railroads, and then leased it in mid-1881 to the Missouri-Kansas-Texas Railroad, which itself was leased to the Missouri Pacific. A meeting had been arranged with a local rancher and landowner, Fergus Kyle, and his wife Annie Moore. They, along with David Moore and his wife Anna, and Miss Mary Ellen Moore, had decided to give 200 acres of their joint family property to the I&GN. For the consideration of $1 and the enhanced value to be given, and which is contemplated to arise to our lands by the speedy construction of the I&GNRR, and for the further consideration of the establishment of a depot thereon. The railroad then sold this tract to the Texas Land Company, a corporation composed of stockholders of the railroad, to handle the business involved in building a new town. A surveyor was hired, and on September 7, 1880, plans were filed in the office of the Hays County Clerk with a town map consisting of 18 blocks to the west of the railroad right-of-way. At the same time, the Texas Land Company deeded the proposed town the land needed for streets and alleys, and included the public square. The railroad wasted no time in spreading the word that a new town with the name of Kyle would be created next to the tracks. A major one-day auction of all the lots in Kyle was set for September 25, 1880. The railroad offered free rides and lunch to anyone who wished to attend, and they had no problem filling up the train. There was excitement about a free railway trip and interest in seeing what the new town site might have to offer. There was talk about the dark, rich land for crops that was in this area, and talk about the plentiful ranch land for cattle and goats. And most importantly, there was talk about the possibility of getting a real deal at the town auction. As the train neared the end of the laid track, all passengers were excitedly looking out the window to see what their prospects might be. The International and Great Northern had already mapped plans to build the track to San Marcos, New Braunfels, and San Antonio. Families from the surrounding area had arrived to see the new steam train that would change their lives in the coming years and to attend the auction. The auction was a day of celebration to be related over and over by those who attended this historic event. A major live oak tree had been selected as the auction site by the railroad.
The International and Great Northern Railroad welcomes you all to the new town site of Kyle, which lays off an eminence commanding a magnificent view of the surrounding country. You see, we have a plat of the lots for sale, and soon Kyle will be on the road to prosperity and happiness. We are at Section 2, Lot 3. Can I get $25 for Section 2, Lot 3? I've got 25, me 50, 50, 50, 50 to you. I've got 50. I've got 50, be 75, 75, 75, 75, 100. 100 to the gentleman in the top hat. 125. Can I get 125? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Thank you, Jim. Moving on, Section 7. We're going on to Lot 203. 203, one of the bigger lots on the plat, as you'll notice. Yes, sir.
Need more room. Are y'all going to sell 2 lots together?
Anything from the ladies in the audience today? Yes, ma'am.
Is there any plans to build a school?
Any more before we continue?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are there mini bars? Yeah. Yeah.
Can I build my house anywhere on my lot?
Moving on to Section 7, Lot 204, a highly desirable lot.
25.
I'm starting out with 25. 25, do I hear 50? I've got a $50 bid. On Lot 204, I've got 75. 75, I've got $100.
I was going to bid on that lot.
We'll get to that next, sir.
No, that's the one I was going to bid on.
7, Lot 204, Section 7, a highly desirable lot. We'll start the bidding with 25. 25, do I have 50? Can I get 50? I've got a $50 bid at 75 to you, sir. You're out $100, 125. Can I get 125? 125, going once?
125.
I've got 125, 150. Bid them up if you like them, boys. 150, 150, going once, going twice, and we sold it to Mr. Dipple, 125, 125. Thank you, sir.
By the end of the day, nearly all of the lots, business and residential, had been sold. The first building erected on Center Street combined a saloon and a meat market. Within a year, 4 saloons occupied the main street. The post office was established in January 1881, and Kyle was now on the map. The Ezekiel Nance Cotton Gin and H.C. Wallace Lumber Yard were built, and the population of Kyle went from 0 to 500 in the first 3 years. County commissioners became concerned and had a jail moved up from San Marcos to help the sheriff with law enforcement. But soon, churches, schools, and stores were erected along with new homes as Kyle continued to grow into the 20th century.
Train, train, train. I've got a thing about trains. I get a sad kind of feeling when I see a passenger train in this fast-moving world that we live in. Nobody rides them much these days.